we're very impressed with the team in all phases. One, they have probably in the priority of how we see things, have an excellent return game with two very explosive return men. They've already got one 97-yard return for a touchdown this year. So those are the kind of things that, as we saw in a number of games around the country this weekend, just one of those kind of plays throws everything else that you might have expected the game to be like out of kilter. So that's a particular thing that caught our attention. Then in the order of priorities that we assess things, we always look at special teams first, and then obviously we always look at the other team's defense, feeling that special teams and defense are kind of the foundation of how games go. So we're very impressed with the special teams operation, particularly the return game. You have to be impressed with the results of their defense. I think they're, I don't know, it's either 4th or 9th in the country in total defense, and about that same order in scoring defense. They're one of the top teams in the country in terms of takeaways, especially interceptions, so that's certainly got our attention. They have a very high time of possession. So a couple of reasons for that. One, they've put on some very long drives themselves, but in being up there in the top 10 in the country in takeaways, they've been able to take time of possession away from the other teams mostly by interceptions, taking the ball away from the other team to supplement what would be normal time of possession on their part. So that's one of the reasons why the points allowed are down, because when they have the ball, it's pretty hard for the other team to score. So that's got to be factored in on our part, that we can't allow them to have all that extra time. You know, most of the other than the Pittsburgh game, all the others were pretty tightly still at issue in the fourth quarter, some more so than others, but still at issue. So that's why I've said I think this team is very comfortable with playing close games. And part of that comfort level comes from having been in them before and having performed in a positive way in those circumstances. And a lot of it is just, in those circumstances, the players keeping their poise and keeping their confidence and not getting antsy about things and just continuing to execute with the idea that if we do that, things will turn out well. And the other three were ones where we had the lead. We had to make some plays to maintain the lead, either keep the ball or take it away. But we did have the lead. This one the other day, we didn't have the lead then, but actually we didn't have the lead 3 times in the game. And so anytime you can play from behind and catch up, that's a positive sign. But to have done it 3 times in the same game was a very positive sign that the players, they're not rattled by those circumstances. They just continue to play on. All of us on the team have a real good understanding of what this team's personality is. And personality of this team, I think it's a humble team, and it's a hungry team, and it's a team that understands how to go about preparation and the value that preparation has had to what we've been able to do. And I'm very confident that's not going to change. Jamil's performance really is, as it continues to upgrade, is a result of his just maturing and developing at the position. It would likely be the same if there were more individuals involved in the position. It's all about Jamil and how he's applied himself and profited from his experiences. Well, Jamil has discussed in the past how when the way things were in the past, when he would have circumstances like that, it would really affect him. He'd get down about it. And he has cited, and we've had conversations about it, Mike's had conversations with him about the need to have a short memory. And as much as, saying that, well, I need to work more on the out cut, or I need to work more on throwing a deep ball, he stated that that was one of the things that he really wanted to work on with his game, was the mental part of it and dealing with that type of circumstance. And that would be a positive indicator from the other day. That Cedric was As I've said before, there was small, medium, and large amongst that group, and medium was the one who, as you might expect, right in the middle, had kind of the versatility in all the different areas. These two now bring somewhat of a different style to the game. We're trying, one of the objectives for this week, as it has been here through some time frame, but now it gets added emphasis because Cedric's not in the mix here today, is to kind of overlap the tasks of the two players so they don't get pigeonholed into, we don't allow them to become pigeonholed out of convenience to just doing certain things. You know, he's played in 5 games. He's made 18 tackles on special teams. It's awesome. He made 5 the other day. We're still learning about the player, Ed. It'd be hard for me to say that this is everything about him that makes him successful, but he certainly has, right from the start, has gotten our attention. And when a player goes in and has a limited role like that and does an outstanding job with it, it leads you to believe that maybe if we continue to expand his role, he'll be able to grow into those things too. So his performance on special teams would really be quite extraordinary if he was a veteran player. And for him to be doing that as a first-year player, the increased level of sophistication that special teams takes on when a high school player moves up to this level is quite a bit different, usually from what they've been used to. So it's a big change for him, and for him to adjust to it this quickly is, as I say, pretty eye-catching. And we'd like to see the circumstances where maybe he can expand into a few other things too. Now we've got him on, I guess he started on 1 unit, Ed. He's on 3 different units now.